I want to start off by showing you the problem we're facing with young people in the years they attend college. Christians who attend college leave Christianity in large numbers. It's pretty ugly. I used to have everybody stand up, but instead I'm going to draw something on the wall for you. There's a reason why the numbers are as bad as they are, and they are bad, disgustingly bad. Most young Christians will step away from the church in their college years. Some will come back, but most will step away. And I don't care who's doing the survey, the numbers look bad. They look anywhere from, say, 55 to 80% of Christians who claim to be Christians in their freshman year in college will no longer claim to be Christians by their senior year in college. And I don't care if it's Baptists, if it's Lutherans, if it's Assembly of God. I don't care who's doing the survey, if it's Gallup or Barna, if it's the secularists who are doing the surveys. It all looks the same. It's bad. Why is it happening? That's the problem, really. And I want to talk about that a little bit. I think there's a simple math to the problem we're seeing on college campuses, and I'll draw it on this whiteboard for you, okay? Here's the first part of the equation. We're going to add three things. The first thing we're going to add is that students who we send to university, Christian students we send, are really poorly prepared. So we have poorly prepared students. In other words, if I was to ask you, why are you a Christian? Now, this is an unusual group because you've already decided to spend 2 weeks at Summit and you're at the end of your first week. I get it. You guys are probably not in this group. I hope not. But if I ask them, I go all over the country speaking at churches and conferences and university campuses. I'm in Ohio State next month. And I can tell you, if you ask Christians, why are you a Christian? You know what you hear? It's the same every time. I can tell you right now what you're going to hear. Well, I was raised in the church. I've always been a Christian. Well, I pray to God, and God answers my prayers. I have a sense that God is with me. I have a deep personal relationship with Jesus Christ. I know that Jesus has changed my life. I had a transformational experience. Those are all good answers. My dad remarried. He's an atheist still. But his second wife, who he's been with for about 45 years, she's a Mormon. And I have 6 brothers and sisters, all raised LDS. I spent a lot of time in wards growing up. Probably why I was an atheist for as long as I was. But do you know my Mormon friends and family? Those are their answers. They give me the exact same answers. The same answers that most Christians give. Now, none of us as Christians believe that Mormonism is true. So shouldn't our answer to that question be different? A little different? Can it really be I was raised in the church, I have a sense that it's true, I've experienced God? They all say that. How about I know it's evidentially true? Because they can't say that. We have to be ready to be able to answer this question. We have to be better prepared. And right now, students are not well prepared. That's the first thing. Second thing. Aggressive, antagonistic campuses. Let's face it, most college campuses are not in favor of Christianity anymore. They're not. If you're unprepared, and then you've got college professors and college groups now that are ready to kick your butt, be ready to have your butt kicked. That's what's going to happen. You're not prepared. You don't go into a fight without training, but you're willing to go to college without training? That's just called stupid. There's a third thing, though, that most of us leave out. And my friend Brett Kunkel, who teaches here also, he's not, I don't think he's in your session this session. You guys know who Brett Kunkel is, though, right? He's always teasing me about my age. This isn't even my natural hair color. This is a weave I put in to make me look older. You know that, right? Stupid guy. There's a third, oh, look at that. It doesn't even work. There's a third thing that you can't see, and you're never going to know because I can't teach it to you because I have a pen. I'll have to do it in black. There's a third thing. This is the thing that really is the problem, because all of us have it. You have basically innately fallen humans as students. This is the thing no one wants to talk about, but it's huge. We're unprepared, we're stepping into hostile territory, and we have a predisposition as fallen humans to chase our desires anyway. Trust me, if you can give me a worldview that explains how we got here and has its own creation story, but it allows me to sleep with my girlfriend without feeling bad about it, I'm gone. I'm in that worldview. So if you're willing to give a student in an antagonistic environment an alternate worldview that allows them to chase their passions, most of us end up over here. And most Christians end up over there. This is what the statistics show. So let's face it, we're innately fallen to begin with. We all want to chase our passions and our desires, but this is where we get an excuse to do that. And what do you think is going to happen when those things come together? Honestly, what do you expect to happen? That's what happens. See the problem? Now, it's not just students that have a problem in the church in this regard. Because when I ask this question of why you're a Christian, adults are just as bad. So while students are at least bold enough to leave, adults don't leave. Adults just sit there apathetically. We're not willing to engage it really because we're not really all that convinced. It's true for me, but it's not really true. And if that's the case, why should I get all excited about this? Do you see the problem? The problem is true for both of us. Students are leaving. Adults are staying with apathy. We have to move the church in a new direction. That's why we have something like Summit to begin with. You are the church. You're the most important demographic in the church. You're the future. I'm a was. You're an is. That's the difference. When's the last time somebody my age was writing pop music that influenced the culture? It's not happening anymore. It's people your age who are doing that. You have a voice right now, an opportunity. Don't waste it. Now, if I was to tell you that for the afternoon session, I want to take you on a missions trip. I want us to go downtown to Denver, and we're going to share a very important truth claim with people who have never heard it before. It's going to cost you some money because every missions trip costs money. It's going to cost you $150 because after all, we got to get there. We got to set up some things. We got to work with the local organizations. We got to have food for everybody. It's going to cost something, but every missions trip does. So we're going to ask you to come, give up your afternoon, 5 hours, $150. It's not going to be easy. We're going to go to the worst part of Denver, and we're going to share the truth. Would you be willing to come? You just heard Dr. Noble talk about how charitable we are as Christians. Would you be willing to do a missions trip with me today? Raise your hand if you'll go. The rest of you are going to hell. So raise your hand if we're going to go. Okay, I mean, come on. But what if I told you the truth claim we're going to share downtown is the truth about the best dessert? The best dessert that any of us could ever eat for dessert.